February of 2005, I will never forget that day. The police says, your dad is BTK.
The serial killer who terrorized Wichita for years.
A sexual sadist, BTK.
Can you imagine finding out that your father is one of the most evil people on earth?
My father just flew under the radar, and they didn't find him for 31 years because he was right under their noses.
He didn't just fool his family. He fooled an entire city. He literally fooled everybody.
I had been hiding everything about my father and my life, the abuse, the trauma. And the next thing I know, the police called me. We're trying to figure out, did he do any more? I don't know if he did anymore. I don't know who my father is, what he was hiding. Did he really love us, or was he using us that whole time? It's hard to know who I am if every moment in my life was a lie.
Would drive just a few years later. It's just one of many unsettling memories Rawson reveals on my father, the BTK Killer, the new Netflix documentary premiering October 10. The documentary is inspired by Rawson's 2019 book, A Serial Killer's Daughter, My Story of Faith, Love, and Overcoming. Told from her perspective as a daughter, victim, survivor, and witness, she attempts to make sense of a nightmare she never saw coming. I don't know who my father is, what he was hiding, Rawson says in the documentary. Was he using my family to hide? Was he using us that whole time? It's hard to know who I am if every moment in my life was a lie. Interweaving archival footage, interrogation tapes, and Rawson's present-day reflections, the documentary takes viewers not only through Rader's horrific crimes, but reveals the quiet devastation left behind. One journalist featured in the documentary poses the question, can you imagine finding out that your father is one of the most evil people on earth? It's something Rawson admits she still wrestles with. She had no awareness of her father's other life until years later when everything changed. From loving father to living nightmare. Rawson remembers a typical, loving childhood. Growing up in Wichita, she and her brother played in a treehouse their father built, spent hours fishing, and went to church where Rader served as congregation president. My dad never treated me like a girl, Rawson said. He treated me like a tomboy and let me do whatever he was doing. So as soon as I was walking, I was right there by him. Rawson described her father as appearing from the outside as a mild-mannered man, but also recalled moments of dad, when something would trigger him and he would flip on a dime. But none of it hinted at what would later unfold. Between 1974 and 1991, Rader was secretly terrorizing Wichita, Kansas, under the self-styled moniker BTK, which stood for Bind, Torture, Kill. He murdered at least 10 people in a series of sadistic killings, taunting law enforcement and local media with cryptic letters that detailed his crimes. By the early 1990s, BTK's messages stopped. The trail went cold. Then in 2004, the unknown killer resurfaced through taunting communications. The next year, when the FBI was able to trace a floppy disk back to a computer at Christ Lutheran Church in Park City, the mask finally fell. At the center of the storm was Rader, the man Rawson had always called Dad. On February 25, 2005, Rader was arrested and Rawson's world imploded. She was only 26 years old at the time. I will never forget that day, she said. Rawson got the news from an FBI agent who knocked on her door hours after the arrest. And then he goes, "Your dad is BTK," she recalled. In June 2005, Rader pleaded guilty to 10 counts of first-degree murder and was sentenced to 10 consecutive life terms, a minimum of 175 years behind bars. For Rawson, the years that followed were a different kind of sentence. A newlywed of about 18 months who was starting her own family in Michigan, Rawson tried to move on and live a normal life. But she found herself, unwillingly, at the heart of a gruesome national story. So after years of silence, she spoke up, and then began her own long investigation into her identity and the trauma that destroyed their family. BTK's killing spree. Rader's killing spree began in January 1974, when he committed his first known murders of Joseph Otero, 38, Julie Otero, 33, and 2 of their 5 children. In April 1974, Rader killed 21-year-old Catherine Bright in the same way he did the Otero family, binding her, then strangling her to death. His next 2 victims, Shirley Vian and Nancy Fox, were killed in 1977. He claimed responsibility for the crimes in a letter sent to Wichita television station KAKE. The letters continued with Rader demanding to be called BTK, as he boasted of his kills. Rader's murders appeared to slow down after his children were born in the late 1970s. Dad said he got busy raising kids, Rawson said in the documentary. Then in 1985, he killed Maureen Hedge, and in 1988, Vicki Wedrell. His 10th victim was 63-year-old Dolores E. Davis in January 1991. In an interrogation video featured on the Netflix documentary, Rader tells investigators how he carried out his final murder. "Well, I proceeded to tie her up, and I think she realized that was going to go bad," he said, recalling that she had pleaded with him, "Don't kill me, don't kill me." "I slipped the pantyhose over her head and strangled her," he continued, adding that he then put her body in the station wagon and dumped her body under a bridge where she would be found 13 days later. Rawson remembers January of 1991. Her mother was sick with pneumonia and spent about 10 or 12 days in the hospital. Not long after that, he killed Mrs. Davis, she said in the documentary. "Put her body in the back of our station wagon. He then gave me that station wagon to drive in high school." Rawson shook her head as she remembered the old car that had 96 grad painted on the back window. Please subscribe to my YouTube channel if you are watching this video. God will bless you with good things. Subscribe.